Hello, hello. I think I'm here. It's hard to tell, but anyway. Hi, it's Laura. I'm going to show you ladies today how to paint up this cute little fall wreath that I got at Hobby Lobby. And it's repetitive. I did number them 1, 2, 3 on the pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and did them in groups of 3. So because it's repetitive, I'm just going to work on one section of each grouping so you can see what I did. And then I also wanted to show you and talk to you about my new favorite brush that I got in Oklahoma from Silver. It's a soft curve angle. And I have found it is really good at not giving you that hard line when you float. Sometimes when you float, you'll see a line. And I have really come to discover that this really doesn't leave that mark. And it's kind of a game changer for me. I also said, with people who, when you're trying to learn floating, it's about water or your medium. And one day it'll just come to you, okay, that's the amount of water I need. That's really how I felt about it. That one day I just realized, look at that. I think I have finally got it. So I'm going to be working with that today, and I will talk to you about it. So just going to recap on the wreath. So it was purchased at Hobby Lobby, and I'm gonna turn the camera so you guys can see what I'm talking about when I'm explaining it. That would be a good thing, don't you? So let me see, did that work? No, this stupid thing. Okay, turn my phone down. Extend this. Oh, there we go. Extend that a little bit more. There we go. So, so this is the finished one. Oh, does it say I don't have? Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me. I hope you can hear me. The microphone says it's on. Anyway, so yeah, so I found this, of course, at Hobby Lobby. They come up with the cutest little surfaces, and I personally am a huge fan of, I just love fall colors and fall leaves. So what I did was I washed the entire surface to begin with dark chocolate. And then I came back and did washes of terracotta and avocado and foliage green. So number 1 is this guy here. Hold on. Right here. This leaf right here is number 1, which was terracotta. This is number 2 that I washed in avocado, and then number 3 that I did in the foliage green. Let's try that and see if that helps a little bit more. And then we'll get a little more light. See if I can get a little. No, that looks worse. So I'm going to leave that off. Okay, so it's 1. So it's 1, 2, and 3. And what I would like to do before we get started, just real quick, so it has some. So I listed I'm sorry, I should go back. I listed the colors on the Facebook page, and so I want to take. So, and if you got the pattern from me, I talk about leaves 1, 4, 7, and 10 are the terracotta. 2, 5, 8, and 11 are avocado. 3, 6, 9, and 12 are the foliage. So I want to be able to give this a minute to set up. So I am going to take a flat brush flat brush, get it wet, and I want to go into cad yellow, and I want to make a wash of color. And, you know, wash of color is just your paint thinned down. Because on that leaf, I'm going on top of this leaf with some cad yellow. I thought it just really would help enhance the look of the leaf. I'm going to erase this too before I get too far started. I wrote a number 3 down. So I would remember which one was not rich. So I'm just putting a thin wash of cadmium yellow over this number 3. So before you would even want to start doing it, painting the wreath and everything, I would start with this very first thing to do on all of your foliage green petals is a wash of this cad yellow. It might look a little bright, but it will lighten as it dries, which it always seems to, you know, paint will tend to do that. It definitely lightens. I also tried to do my best to keep these colors as soft as I could. I added tints and washes onto the leaves when I was done. So we're going to let that set up. So that was number 3. And so now I'm going to come over here to number 1, which is the one that we washed in the terracotta. And this design also had the leaf lines on it already. I did go back and I did take a chalk pencil and brighten them a little bit after I did the washes, just so I'd have a little more variation of being able to see it. And I liked, with something like this, I'm not really sure why, but with this one, I decided to do dry brush highlights first. So on the terracotta one, I'm going to go into saffron, which is let me see, where's my saffron bottle so I can show you. Saffron's kind of a golden, goldenish yellow. So that's the one we're going to start with on this one. And I'm going to take a dry brush and not get it wet, but go into my paint and work it out. And I want to try and I want to put highlights in between these vein lines. So I'm going to come in here, and I may go a little brighter on this one because I'm going to want you ladies to be able to see it. So I'm going to go a little bit brighter on these. Oops, look at that, wrong one. Hello, Laura. I got ahead of myself. Oh, it's this one, number 1. Well, you know what? That won't matter on there anyway. So I'm just coming in between these lines, the vein lines of the leaf. Oh, that looks good on camera. That's good. So I'm just coming in here, and I'm dry brushing. I wonder if I go higher, if that would help. Oh, that helps a lot, doesn't it? Yes, it does. There we go. I was too close. I don't want to scare anybody. So anyway, just going to come on, and I'm just going to give it some dry brushing to give it a highlight in between all these spots. Okay. Always go back and reload if you feel like you don't have enough. And some of these leaves are on, so this is a raised surface. So like this one's on top and this one's on top. So when we go to shade, it's going to look like it's tucked a little bit behind when you're doing it. When we get to shading, it came out really cute, I thought. So I don't know why I get myself all nervous and worked up when I do my lives, when I teach a class. I don't know. So worried, I guess I'm just worried I'm gonna mess up. But all right. So now I'm gonna show you this. Let me see if I can get it on camera. So this is, and you can tell it's been used a lot since I came home from Oklahoma, but this is that silver 88, number 8841S soft curve. And I have been using it since I got back from Oklahoma. So I'm going to show you how well it floats. So I'm going to get it wet, and with this leaf, the first shade is going to be burnt sienna. And so we are going to, now, even though we put the highlight on, now we're going to come next to these veins and float. See how soft that is? Oh, it's just so soft. Just so soft. Let me get this to... Now this wood is not your best. You know, it's that whatever stuff it is that they buy. But anyway, it even though I sealed it, it still isn't so well. But look at how I floated, and I do not have that harsh line going on. And I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to float this one. And it just, I don't know, to me, it just blends it out so well for you. And I don't know, I just, like I said, I have so fallen in love with this brush. And I have tried many angle brushes, and it just, I don't know, it's pretty magical. It does come in different sizes. This is a number 10. I have to work on getting, I need to get some smaller ones. You can order directly from, oops, you know, that's a little heavy. That was just a little too heavy, but we'll just soften that out a little bit. You can order directly from Silver Brush. I know if you're going to Net, they're going to be at Net. They'll have a booth at the Net trade show. And the brush guys carry this brush, and so does good old Amazon. Now, Amazon doesn't have the variety of sizes that, say, you could get from Silver Brush or the brush guys, which is why I need to get some in the different sizes. And I'm going to shade a little here at the bottom of the stem. And I'm just going to take my little brush and try and get that little bit out of there that I came over on. And now I'm going to shade on this opposite side. Oopsie. Sorry, I meant this opposite side, not that opposite side. There is going to be a second highlight, so I don't want you to worry that you're like, but what about my highlights? We're going to pop those. We're going to pop those back up. So not to worry, they're not completely lost at all. And then I'm going to come back and float it over here. The last thing I want to do is to give this leaf a center vein. So let me go this way with it. So I can see the chalk line where I started with it. So I'm going to come down next to my chalk line and add the vein line. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do it on the opposite side. Work it up so you have a vein line. And the other thing I'm going to do is I want to shade it right next to where this raised leaf is at, so it looks like it's under it. And I'm going to shade it with some of the burnt sienna on that side. And then I'm going to come and turn and do it next to this leaf. It'll just make it, it sets it back, and it is underneath this other leaf, so you really do want it to look like that. So anyway, I've been busy working on my new submissions for Oklahoma. They're due at the by the 26th of October. So, oops, I see another spot I forgot to. The other trick I was going to tell you, let me just show you this real quick. So I don't usually use, I've learned to like wet palettes so my paints don't dry out. But the other thing I've learned to like about a wet palette is after I get my brush wet in water to rinse it, I then just come back on my wet palette once and twice, and that really pulls out more than enough water for my floating. And I'm seeing right here, I just had it, Laura. You just had it. Oh, no, no, this one right here. I noticed I didn't shade next to this vein line. And so whatever's easiest for you, you could do all your terracottas all at the same time. Probably, I would say, would probably be the easiest way to really do that, is with doing all your numbered leaves at the same time. So we are now going to do, sorry, I just broke a nail. I had to fix that. Pardon me. Now I'm going to go back into my, with my dry brush, and I'm going to go into Cad Yellow, because we did Saffron first. Now I'm coming over to Cad Yellow, loading my brush. I'm a towel user. I like to use a towel to get the paint worked in on my brush. And just where we highlighted before, I'm going to come back and brighten these. Let me lift that up again, because I think holding it helps more. And I'm just going to brighten this leaf a little bit more. You can go as heavy as you like, but just remember it's a fall leaf, and this is one that's been around a little bit longer because it was started with the terracotta, so it maybe has been around a little bit longer than the other ones. And I just saw another spot where I forgot to shade, so let's fix that, which is the opposite of this one. So let me just pull that down and fix that real quick. It always seems to happen that you find one that you didn't quite take care of. So a little more Cad Yellow, and just, I'm a side dry brusher. I never brush up and down. I'm a sideway dry brusher. I have found that when you try to do up and down, that's kind of when you get spots. You'll get a clump of paint, and it just does not look right. So, okay. So now we're going to take your favorite liner brush and your Cad Yellow. I'm using a #1 liner. And we are going to add back in these vein lines. So there's 1 and 2. If you like as well, which I'm sure I probably did, in looking at it, it looks like, well, no, I see what I'm looking at. We are going to tint this with cranberry wine next. So if you are looking at the picture, don't think, oh, it's not dark enough yet. The thing with pictures is you're seeing, I've always thought, you know, you're seeing the finished product. And when you're starting it and painting it, it's not going to look like the finished product. I really do like step-by-step photos, because I was even guilty of it. So many times you would be in a class and, you know, you're nowhere near to being done, but you're asking the teacher, well, you know, why doesn't mine look like yours, or, you know, whatever. And then they tell you, well, because we haven't gotten there yet. So I'm going to go into a little sunny day, and I'm just going to streak very lightly a little bit of sunny day, sort of just a highlight on this cad yellow that we just put down. You don't want to turn the whole vein that color. You just want to add some. So now we're going to take cranberry wine and our angle brush, or in this case, I'm using, again, that soft curve. Blend it out. You don't want it to get super dark right away. But what I did was I floated across this bottom area first. Oops, see, that's too heavy. I can just tell already I haven't got it blended enough. Because like I said, I don't suddenly want to turn it burgundy. So just a little, there we go. That's a little bit better. And then I'm going to come and pull it down and walk it down the center. And I'm going to pull it along the bottom of this one on that side. And I'm going to come, this time I'm going to start from the bottom because I can. And I'm going to come up this side. Oops, I just went over my vein line, but we can fix that. I can fix that for you. No worries. Okay, so I did it there. And then I did it on it looks, looking at the picture, the opposite sides. See how it just suddenly turned it warmed it up, and it just turned it into this beautiful fall color. And I just tucked a little in there again because this one's to the back. So I'm just going to tuck a little in here like so. And then I'm going to come and I'm going to float a little here and here. And then I'm going to pull some here. So I'm trying to do just like one side of it. One side of the vein line. I'm not trying to do them both. Oh, it just, like I say, just look at how it just warms it up and just changes the whole look of it. So now what I'm going to do, because I messed that up, I'm going to go back into my cad yellow. And my liner, and pull that back up in there. Oh, that looks much better. I do need that little brightness of the sunny day on there. I think I'm too wet, but that's okay. It'll be all right. And then the other thing I want to do using, I thought I had my smaller angle brush out here. There is sometimes, oh, here it is. I do still need, and again, like I just mentioned to you, I don't have all the sizes in the soft curve yet. But I'm just going to come in here with the smaller angle brush and pull up on these sides of the stem of the leaf and just pull that up. And then I'm going to go into the cranberry wine And I'm just going to pull up this one side. If you'd like, I mean, it's your leaf, but you could even come with this cranberry wine and tint the outside of each of these leaves as well. Look at that. Oh, it just, like I said, it just brightens it. Not brightens, just warms it so. I mean, who doesn't love fall? I do. Though the one thing I find about fall is, I don't know, you end up changing your clothes. I've changed outfits I don't know how many times, at least 3 in a day. Because I start out with one, and then I go out and I come home and, whoof, I'm too hot. So then I'm in shorts again. And then after dinner, you know, oh, okay, well now I'm too chilly. Well, I'm not going to lie to you. 90% of the time after dinner, I put my pajamas on. But anyway, I do love fall. And I know it's official on Monday, so I will more than likely be putting out my fall items. So, you can let this dry now. Oh, so pretty. You can let this dry and then see if you want to brighten it more. It could stand for a little bit more brightening, but I'm going to leave it be because I want it to dry and set up before I do that. So now we're going to move on to the avocado green one, which, oops, I have to grab a color. I think I used it for something else, and I didn't put it back. Didn't leave it out. Sorry, I'm just going to get me some celery green. Sorry about that. Celery green, celery shoot. That was foliage that I put on my palette. And I'm just going to take this same dry brush that I was using before, and I'm just going to work it into my paper towel. I've kept it so it doesn't get stiff, and now I'm going to go into my celery, and I'm going to work it in on my palette, and then rub it on my towel. And just like before, I'm going to come in with some highlights in these open spaces. I think I might need a smaller brush. I do. I need a smaller brush. I picked up the wrong size brush. Sorry. It is. Though this is a good brush too. This is a Chris Hoy dry brush. They are very, very nice. The smaller one I'm using is a Jo Sonja dry brush, which I like them both. I like them both. My brush that I chose for the project I was just finishing up for Oklahoma, I was using the Princeton Crescent dry brushes, and those are fun too. They're of course crescent shape and they're a little bit flatter, but yeah, they're a nice brush for dry brushing as well. Holly Hanley uses those, I would say 90% of the time with her artwork. She's just got some of the cutest and whimsical pieces. They're just adorable. Her witches are the cutest things I've ever seen. There's no hairy moles on them. They are just quite adorable. Anyway, so just going to do a little bit of this dry brush in these sections. I'm trying to get them a little heavier on here just because I want them to really be able to show up on camera. There we go. If you don't work it in enough and then wipe your brush, you can sometimes get a heavier spot in some areas where the paint didn't move. You just kind of, the wood just kind of pulled it the minute it touched the surface. Okay, so I'm gonna stop with that for right now. And don't forget, when you're done with the, oh shoot, now I have to get evergreen. When you're done with the dry brush, you want to be sure to set it in water or clean it with hand sanitizer, because you really don't want it to get dried up in the ferrule. Though I have found Kathy Hansen works for them. The name of the company escapes me right now. But I got the bar of soap. Oh, gosh. You know, I should have looked at that before I came upstairs. Anyway. Oh, it'll come to me. The name of the company she works for. And then I can let you know. Anyway, they do make a hand soap that works wonders on brushes. Okay, so now I'm gone to evergreen. And I think, oh no, I didn't want to do that. I like to do the vein line last, so that's okay. We're just going to come down here and just walk. We're going to shade on these lines like we did before. I'm going to turn my brush and do this one, and then I'm going to come up here and do this one, and then there's one here. Once you get your dry brushing on there, you might lose your lines just a little bit. Just a little bit. But you can work it out. I have faith in all of you. Even though from what I can tell, nobody's here, but whatever. Maybe you'll all just watch it later. I was just telling someone that it's so hard to figure out a time when to do these, because you got people on the East Coast and you got people on the West Coast, and you want to make everybody happy. So I thought we'll try 1 o'clock and see if that works out for people. I was just explaining that to the man at Silver Brush the other day when I was talking to him. Anyway, you just do what you can. You can't belong to every group, and you can't be home for every live, and if you just watch the replay, you watch the replay. That's okay too. But the thing is, I haven't moved my files anywhere, and I really don't know if I plan to. So it's only on here for 30 days. So if you're going to do it, you got to do it fast. Okay, so now I'm going to come back the opposite of where I shaded before on these vein lines. And I'm going to pull a little bit of color on these opposite sides. Didn't do that one very well, did I? But that's okay. And then one here. Oops, you know what? I forgot to do this one over here altogether. Didn't I? Yes, I did, because I was starting to do the... See, now there, it's just grabbing the paint, because again, this wood is just, you know, it's not the best. Even though, like I said, even though I sealed it and used the glazing medium, the Just Sonia glazing medium, after I got it all base coated to help seal it, because that's a cool trick. That was a Rosemary West trick that I like to use. when you're painting on relatively inexpensive surfaces that aren't the best wood. You seal them and then you sand it, and then you end up doing your base coats. And then if you put the glazing medium and or matte medium, something on there to put a barrier between your base coat color and the surface, so that when you come on with your next layer, there's a barrier in between it. And I can see right here, and I don't think it'll come off. Oh, it did. There was a little bit of a outside, and the color had gone outside the stem, so I just took my little brush and lifted it off with my little brush. And then I'm going to come down this way and do this opposite side here. And then let's not forget about this vein, or this one here, or this guy over here. Almost forgot all of them. Look at that. Okay. Oops. I'm sorry. Don't mean to be off camera. I moved it a little more to the right, and maybe it'll be better that way. Okay, so that's our evergreen, and so the next thing we're going to do is deepen this, because this is an let me show you the leaf. So here's the leaf, and I deepened this with a second shade of asphaltum, not in every spot. And then there's tints of cad yellow and tints of cranberry wine. So let me, because again, don't have the asphaltum, I have it right now. I'm going to get my asphaltum out, and I'm going to put some of that on my palette. And my mouth is getting dry. I'm going to put a lozenge in, and I think with this one, I'm going to go back to my smaller angle brush this time with my asphaltum. And again, you don't suddenly want to turn this a dark brown. So I'm going to come up there on the stem. And then I'm going to pull some up. I think this time with this one, I just came up one side. And see, with this smaller brush, you get not as wide of a float. And not as heavy, but it just adds, again, warmth and depth to the leaf. Pretty, huh? I just love fall. I know I said that already, but I'm just going to say it again anyway. And I know I said I was just going to do the one side, but I really think I am going to come back and do the other sides too. Do as I say, don't do as I wrote. Right? Because I think all we painters know Nothing's written in stone on an instruction. You can add or delete something. If you don't like it, you can change it up completely. I did a project the other day and I did my lettering in a green instead of, it was a Halloween piece. And I did my lettering in green as opposed to the color that the teacher suggested. And I really, really was happy. I thought for a Halloween piece, it really helped it a lot. Alrighty, so next I'm going to go back into my cranberry wine. And again, placement is wherever you feel. But I'm going to take this cranberry wine and I'm going to come up, whoops, sorry, a little more moisture, Laura. I'm going to come up here on this side of this leaf and I'm going to tint it. See how beautiful that is? Oh, just so beautiful. And then I think I'm going to do this side on this one. And then I think I'm going to come down on the stem and put some on the stem. And I think I'm going to put it one more spot. Put a little right here. See, a little more water. All right. And add a little more depth to that center. I'm just going to come and swipe a little bit of the cranberry wine up the one side of the vein. Now I'm going to go into my cad yellow. And like we tinted before, I'm going to tint them now to brighten them with cad yellow. Pretty, huh? If you feel it's too light, like I think this looks a little too light, I'm going to come back in, a little more paint on my brush. I think my favorite really is just, though, the cranberry wine. It just, like with the other leaf, just really, really warms it. And we're almost, see, this paints up relatively quick. It really does. Because we have one thing left to do, and that is to brighten this now with your liner brush and Sunny Day, which is the brightest yellow. And we're going to add vein lines back in just to brighten it. Just to brighten up that leaf. Come down a little on the center here. Because now you don't want to, whoopsie, sorry. I have my TV. I have my phone hooked up to my TV in my painting room so I can cast it, so I can see if I'm on camera or not, which, whoopsie, I looked over and I kind of wasn't. So fix that a little bit for you. Oh, thank you, Kari. I love fall. I really, really, really do. my husband and I are going to a wedding in South Carolina. It's actually the day after Halloween. No, not the day after Halloween. It's November 2nd, but we're taking a road trip. As we get there, we're not going right away. We're driving, not flying. And we want to go to the Smokies, and we want to see the fall color there, though my husband's informed me that it's just as bitty. It's just as busy up there, or down south, as it is in, say, Maine or New Hampshire or Boston with, as he called them, the peepers. People who love to watch, peeper for fall color. But I told him, we're on vacation. I really don't care. So that's going to be exciting. We've never been through Tennessee. Well, I shouldn't say that. We used to go through Tennessee to get to my father-in-law's winter place in Alabama, which is unfortunately not with us anymore, and I miss it so much. It was quite lovely. Beautiful Lake Gunnersville. Him and my mother-in-law really did have their own golden pond down there. It was just the best. My girls, we took the kids down there a lot. It just, good memories. Good memories. So I could keep playing with this, but in hindsight, I'm thinking pretty much I'm done on that one. Thanks. It sure does. We can't wait to get down there. So now when I did this wash on this one, I lost my, I really lost a lot of my lines. So I'm going to take a minute with a chalk pencil, and I'm just going to add these back in so I can see a little bit better as to where my placement's at. These chalk pencils are nice because as you work, of course the chalk will go away with the water in your brush. Okay, so I put all my lines back in. So Hauser, oh Laura Marie, okay, thought I had Hauser medium green out. Oh, I did, but I put it in this basket for that class I told you I was doing. So it was washed with Hauser Light, this one, and then we did a wash of the Cad Yellow. And you know what? I just put that paint on my wet palette as opposed to, on my regular palette as opposed to my wet palette, but whatever. I can move it in a minute. So now I'm going to take Hauser medium green. This time we're going to shade first and then do the highlight. Why? I don't know, because that's what I did. So I'm going to take the Hauser medium green and shade next to these lines. I'm able to do this side now, so I'm going to do this side. You're going to want to do it on each side. I'm a lefty, so sometimes I hold my brush one way to float, and sometimes I hold my brush another way. It really does matter on the shape and size of the surface you're working on. I'm going to wipe that a little bit more because I'm just worried I have too much. Isn't that pretty? Pretty, pretty, pretty. And I'm just using a really light, really, really light touch. Super light. Just want to add some of that color. And I know I'm turning, but can't be helped. Just can't be helped. I remember doing a mural for a woman in her kitchen. Ooh, well, not so much a mural, but she wanted fruit and stuff, and I took it on. That was the first time I realized, ooh, you know what? You really do sometimes need to move your surface when you're painting, and I couldn't move the wall. It was quite tricky, but I managed to get it done, and she loves it, and ooh, that was a long time ago. I'm sure it's by now been painted over, wallpapered over, some such thing. But it was very nice. And then I did do a garden gate. This was back when my girls were in preschool. One of the moms knew I painted, and she asked me if I could come over and look at some stenciling she did in her daughter's room. And she had stenciled like a garden fence and an arch. And I said to her, well, I said, what do you think it needs? And she's like, I don't know. So I said to her, well, you can always stencil this again. I said, but let me do a few things and to it and tell me what you think. Well, what I ended up doing was shading it and giving it some knots in the wood and some wood grain lines. And she came back in and she said, oh, it grew up. So needless to say, I finished Linda, I got the surface from Hobby Lobby, and thank you, coming all the way from Paris, you girl, you. I hope your weather's lovely. They always say April in Paris, but I would venture to guess it's just as lovely in the fall. That's what I would venture to guess. And I hope you're having a great time. I know you're there by yourself, which you're really brave, but anyway, so this was from Hobby Lobby. I think I found it, of course, probably in their fall section that they have. I was happy that they had this because I did the pumpkin gnome last year, and I did all the gnomes that they had. The only one I haven't done is that I want to do yet, that they seem to have all the time, is one that just holds is like holding a plaque, and I wanted to make that a painter gnome. Put my name, put artist or painter or something on that, and I ran across that in the closet, and I thought, oh, I haven't done this one yet, have I? But so last Saturday, a group of us got together and we did Lana Lamb's Make It Take It. 4 of us did it, and Make It Take It's are little mini classes that you sign up for it in OKC. They used to have them at the Heart of Ohio Toll classes as well. And now they've carried the tradition on at OKC, and Lana just did the cutest name badge holder with dirty brushes and with a little bit of my connection, I was able to ask her to prep, if I could buy a set from her ahead of time. And my other 3 friends bought it there and picked it up. And so the 4 of us painted them together last week. And of course, then I came home and finished mine. And I sparkled it up a little bit. And I'm just really happy with it. Really, really happy. I sent a picture to Lana, told her how much fun I had doing it. So, yes. Okay. So I'm going to stop right there for now. And now we're going to do a highlight of Sunny Day, which is that brightest yellow. And I chose this color because of the cadmium yellow wash underneath it. And this time, I'm using a 0 Chris Hoy dry brush. Oops. Okay, with this little of a brush, you can almost brush too much. You can almost wipe too much off. But I'm going to come in here and try to brighten a little bit more in between where we shaded. And again, there's no saying you can't go back, and I may do it just to show you. You could always go back and shade a second time. Let me just double check. Okay, because you know what? I'm looking at my original. Oh, I know what that is. Never mind. Anyway, what was I doing? Oh, here. So now I'm just coming on here with this Sunny Day highlight, just scrubbing it in there in a few of these places. Our vein lines are also going to be this same color, but I'm just adding some highlight to them. I've been painting a lot with Rosemary West, and I don't know, I've just really fallen in love with her painting technique. And I did ask her, and she gave me permission, and I looked at some of her designs, and hopefully the one I picked and worked on, I didn't want to overwhelm people who had never painted with her. So I'm submitting a Rosemary West design with her permission to Oklahoma next year. And it's simple enough, and it's kind of a repetitive piece. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I think what I am going to do before I tint, again, I'm going to go to this time I'm going to go to that smaller angle brush, and I'm going to come back with a second. Oops, I just grabbed Evergreen, didn't I? And it was Hauser Medium. I am going to come back with the Hauser Medium, though, man, the Evergreen might be pretty. Anyway, and I'm going to just deepen it in a few spots where I think it might need it, with a little more of this Hauser medium green. I'm just thinking next to this center vein line for sure. Linda, did you see, I don't know where she got it, I haven't asked her yet, but did you see Denise's post about her very tall, I think it's a Halloween nutcracker guy? she posted today about it, and she's going to have to paint it. It was huge. Like I said, I don't know where she got it. I guess Sandy McTeer turned her onto it. But anyway, I'm like Sandy. I will. Thank you, Carrie. I can't wait to see what it's going to look like when she's done with it. I'm sure it'll be cool. We all know how much Denise loves Halloween, right? She's the Halloween queen. So, all right, I'm going to stop at that because I just wanted to add a little bit more. But now I'm going to go into my cranberry wine again. Going to go into my cranberry wine. And yeah, me too. Me too. I guess we need to ask her. I'll have to ask her to say what it is. But isn't it cool? It's so big. Almost bigger. I'm sure it's bigger than her. Anyway, so now I got the cranberry wine. Oops. Too much water in my brush. Pulling this up a little bit. I'm going to put some here and then like pull it down that vein line. And maybe the same thing over here. Put it here. And then pull it over here. This cranberry wine is amazing. It just warms it all up, doesn't it? Really, really, really does. And then I'm going to put a little at the bottom of the stem, just a little. And then I'm going to come over here. And then turn my brush and pull it down. And I'm going to come now down this center vein. Oh, so pretty. Just so pretty. I'm just going to give it a little bit of warmth again. Like I said, how it does, it just warms it up, doesn't it? Again, light is best because you can always come back and deepen it up again, or tint over it. And if it gets too much, and you can always go back and you could wash over this with some foliage and then come back with the cat again. But really don't know how you can go wrong. It's just a leaf. And you're just going to think of a leaf or pull up. I just pulled up pictures of leaves and just looked at them that way when I figured out what I was going to do. So I'm going to come now. I know I went across the stem, but now I'm going to come up this one side. And I'm just going to pull it up this opposite side of this vein, the center vein again. Okay, oops, got a little, there we go. And the last thing we're going to do, again, is take our liner and that sunny day. And you know when you use a liner brush, you twirl it at the end and then tip it off so you don't get a goober on your surface like I just about did. And you're going to brighten up the vein lines on these leaves. Sorry, I got off camera again. With this sunny day. Again, you can let it dry and come back and do it a second time because it seems like I have a lot of, I'm not very heavy in my paint. So maybe I'll try it now this way. That's a little bit better. There we go. Oh, that would be funny. She probably would, but, you know, who knows? Who knows what she's going to do? It's pretty funny. I don't know where she got it. We got to ask her, because I just don't know where she got it. It can't be that heavy. I'm thinking it has to be resin, though it does. Oh, thank you, Linda. I appreciate that, Linda. If it was ceramic or something, it would be so heavy. So we'll have to find out what it's made out of. That's all. Okay, so that's the third leaf. So now I'm taking a minute here and I'm looking at this one, the first one we did, and I'm just, I don't know, I think I realized what I missed with that one. So, two things. Let's see, that was the terracotta one. I am going to take my dry brush, the smaller one, into some of the cad yellow. And I'm going to come back and brighten these. I really feel like we lost our brights on this puppy here. I really want to work these. Sorry, I know you probably can't see that with my hand in the way. Oh yeah, see, that's helping a great deal. That's really helping. Adding some more bright in here. It's not so, I don't know, I just thought it looked so muddled. Like I muddied it up or something, I don't know. And now I'm going to just take the smaller angle brush again into some of the cranberry wine. I wonder if I should do the burnt sienna. No, we'll stick with cranberry wine. And I'm just going to pull a little bit more. There we go. That's what it needed. Just a little bit more highlight, and then a touch, just a touch more on the shading. Yep, that's what it needed. And then I think I'm going to come a little, whoops, I'm probably off camera. I'm just going to come a little bit again. Also think I need to come back and add some, redo the vein lines, brighten those up again too. So let's go back to the sunny day and let's brighten these. Okay, good night, Linda. Enjoy your trip tomorrow. I'm going to come back on here now with a little sunny day, and that's making a huge difference right there too. It just kind of washed out, which I mentioned it would maybe do, but that's why you have to let it set up and dry, and then you can get a feel for what it looks like. See where else I need to do it. I need to do it down this one too. And the last thing I did on this wreath was let me see, and I have that out, with some dark chocolate, which is what we washed the surface with, but with dark chocolate and an angle brush. And it was only on the ones that are raised, the raised leaves. I came in and it's with an angle brush, but it's almost like it's another, I did float it of this dark chocolate. I don't know, I was done with it, and I just thought it felt like it needed something else, and it seemed a little pale, so I decided to come back and just, like I said, on this raised one only, I just, each one of them, there's several, but on the raised ones, I didn't do anything on the flat ones, just on these raised ones. I tucked in some more dark chocolate on these edges. I don't know, I felt like it helped to lift these just a little bit more, if that's the right word, lift. I just thought it helped give it lift and dimension. Not like Playtex bras that would lift and separate, but yeah. So you can already see the difference in how it looks compared to the one that it's next to. So I really thought it popped it up. And then the very last thing I did, which, let me see if I can get it in focus, or which one it'll show up best on. Oh, right here at this angle. I spattered it with dark chocolate. And I haven't varnished it yet because I don't like to take pictures of it when it's with the varnish on it, because then there's always a glare. So anyway, so they're all repetitive. So there's the 3 I said I was going to work on. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you get a chance at some point to try this this soft curve brush. Like I said, I don't know where it's been all my life. It's really been quite a lifesaver for me. And then don't forget the Chris Hoy dry brushes, or the Jo Sonias. I really don't, whatever you have that you like that works is what I like to say, but I also like to talk about new brushes when I get them, because they're fun. And okay, so I'm going to come back up here for a minute. Let's see if I can find myself. Oh, there I am. Turn my phone back on. Okay, I was trying to figure out how to get it on my iPad because it's bigger, but I think I'm going to have my husband help me with that. But anyway, thanks for coming on, and I hope you like this, and post me some pictures if you did one and you want me to see it. Also, if you want the pattern, just email me. I don't have pictures in the pattern yet, but I could always add them. So yeah, just email me and at laurahabe@gmail.com, and I'll get you the pattern. And I haven't worked up October yet, but I'll let you know when I get there. Okay. All right. Take